There's this popular trend on how to find a good girlfriend in Asia, and I find Pacific, so I'm just gonna replay it and then let's click.
If I were to go to Asia, where would I go to find a great girlfriend?
I think you should just go to the rural area because they grow them cute and they are not polluted by capitalism because all the major cities like Beijing and Shanghai. How much money you have?
Really?
What car you drive?
Wow.
The nice Chinese girl in the rural area who grew up raising sheep and cows and feeding pigs and growing corns. They just have big hand, big feet to work. They don't even know they are pretty, and they would just feel very lucky to find a nice man who respect them and love them.
If I were to go to
Alright, so that's the video, and I could say personally for myself, sorry, I have to put a calculator in the background because no other good background behind it. Is the fact that I'm currently dating a girl who's that sort of background, come from the rural. And it's funny how she stated, now I explained the Chinese part, what she's explaining, but let's talk about the capitalism part. If a girl's coming from a village, or let's just say a countryside, or from the mountains, or whatever, like out of nowhere, like they don't experience with the money and the goods and the capitalism, the consumerism. But the moment they're with a man that has a money and coming from the city, right, the city lifestyle, then they start to realize, when they start to build their friends or family, bring it into that city or whatever, they started to have this notion of competition and staying up to the game, to be competitive. What I mean by that, for example, first things first is the car. Obviously, they have the certain standards to keep up to the game. If the family friends has an SUV, brand new SUV, you have to keep up with the SUV. If the other family friend has a BMW SUV, you gotta get a BMW SUV. She will nag the hell out of you until you get one, or else she's gonna pull this divorce card on you. Now, if someone gets, one of the friends gets a brand new house or double-story house or whatever, where it is, you gotta keep up with the game. So, yet then again, they have nothing, and yet they want to have everything the moment they taste the capitalism. Now, regardless where they're from, and my co-workers who's from African background, Southeast Asia, or even China or India, they have their wife has a similar story as well. So the moment they take capitalism, they're different. It's a different concept in their livelihood, where they used to live a lifestyle that not physically high demand when it comes to money, because based on that video, you're raising agrarian society, right? It's a agriculture society, and out of nowhere you acknowledge what money does to them. It's a new thing, and they realize what the stuff they can purchase with money. So it's like a new language to them, and they go bizarre. It's like my partner, and as well with her sisters, are so crazy on brands, on goods, and something. They don't care about debt. And that's one thing that I say to myself, they're addicted to debt because they don't understand the whole core logic. Like, what happens if it crash? What happens if it's like, if you don't pay back? It's very, very strong and deadly. Now, with that video, yes, they are good girls, alright? Good girls. You find a girl from the rural, but the moment you marry them, the moment they acknowledge the Western culture and as of money, they become like a Westerner straight away. But they're more crazy on capitalists. They'll use a calculator all the time. You make that much money, why I don't see that money in your bank account? Every dollar. And then they'll start guilt tripping on the men's husbands to, I want to control all your money because you don't know how to save money. So it becomes that notion, very common demand. Now, this is my second take making the video because I'll cut off from this topic at this moment of time. The second part is that once, let's just say you dated a rural foreign love, okay, fair enough, everyone likes the different tastes. Obviously they're a lot more conservative, a lot better than the ones that we have in the Western world. Once you started to get with them, then you gotta have another problem. then you're gonna start to do some bringing their entire family from their country to here, because it's a first world country, then a third world country. And this is where it becomes forever poor or forever debt. That's the lifestyle it is. I'm not saying it's the best or the worst, because at the end of the day, it's a different journey that you're gonna get into. But with all this image and all this competitive and all that, just to keep up, it's bizarre. I'm letting you guys know, they do not care. They'll risk take any debt. They do not care at all. So they'll use like different tactics, and this is where it becomes fake marriage, or this is where it becomes bringing sponsored and sponsor and sponsor. It's a never ending story. I'm currently one of them already. So that video, yes, you find a good girl, but the aftermath is a lot more crazier. Now, what is cheaper? A divorce, or bringing the entire village and raise the entire village, and raise that village with finding another person and ripping off another village off? So it's very tough for me to even look at that video, because yes, I understand you find a good girl with a Chinese girl. I'm a Chinese background. Look, the way how she's explained the agrarian Chinese village girl or countryside girl is good, but once she has the taste of everything, there's money hunger. It happens the same thing in China. It happens any of the poor countries. If a city person getting involved with a village, or whatever the girl that is hasn't been explored, now they started to explore this capitalism, and to the point that they're addicted to it, that they never once have a phone, iPhone 14, Gucci bags, or Mercedes. But it's not really, it's just more of a status. But a man has to hold so much debt in behind just to keep up with their peers, to look good, to look nice. Like, I understand, right? If you take your kids to a elite school, a very good school, that's costing them 30 G's in a year, that you have to compete. Of course, you got to compete, show them your social status, like you're well off, you're having Mercedes, you have a big house, X, Y, and Z. Like, just to keep up, so you can have the friend circle. Your kids can hang out with my kids can hang out with your kids, because we're in the same level, or I above, you're not poor, or X, Y, and Z. I understand that, but that level, that many of them, who, like I said, what she mentioned, they don't speak much English, and to the fact that even if they do, they don't know how to get a very good job. Usually they'll do a cash in hand job, or something very prominent, dominant, maybe a legal under the table job, work. I'm not saying drugs, but something else. But it's just not the way how it is. But they're hustlers. But you gotta bring the entire family. That's the problem. Like, it's forever broke. I'm letting you know. But that's the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah.